Hey everybody, Jason Ballas with OutdoorProductReview.com. Today we're going to review the Barnett Buck Commander Raptor Crossbow. This is the new reverse limb crossbow that Barnett's come out with lately. Really a great looking crossbow. You know, Barnett's been one of my favorites that's been out there. And this is the second reverse limb crossbow that I've been able to take a look at from them. Like all the other crossbows from Barnett, you have to assemble this one. So it doesn't come just like this ready to hunt. The package says it's ready to hunt, but you have to assemble it. It's not really that hard, it's just meticulous. And you have to be careful when you're assembling this crossbow. First thing is, the cables slide underneath the rail system here. You used to have to put a little Teflon slide in there. However, you don't have to do that anymore because Barnett has built a little Teflon coated area underneath their rails so that the cable slides very smooth. The one thing is the string suppressor. That was the part where I really had a little bit of trouble putting it on. There's a groove where it slides in there, a male and a female in, and then you have to put these two small little nuts on the side of the riser or side of the rail. You have to make sure that you get all of the stuff correctly aligned, and that was just a little bit of time. But the way I figured out to do it is I put in my end bolt first, and then I'm able to put in the small side ones. You just don't want to over tighten everything until you get it all in there to where it needs to be, otherwise you could strip a screw. Other than that, not really that much difference. There's 4 bolts that connect the riser to the stock here. You put those on, then you have to attach the foregrip, and that's real simple, 2 little bolts. Of course, then you mount your scope on it, really just like you'd mount a scope on a rifle, no big difference. And then you're ready to hunt. You're ready to hunt. The great thing about the Raptor here that I like this year, it's something that's really different that I didn't see on any other crossbows from Barnett, is it almost has like a little brush for where your arrow sits along the rail here. So that brush, instead of having that spring retainer that holds down and it actually wears out depending on how many arrows you have, they have a brush that does the same concept, and it keeps the arrow pressed flat against the rail. Last time I didn't put the quiver on it. This time, real quick detached quiver, you just turn it and pulls off. No big issues like that. Comes with 3 headhunter bolts, so you're ready to go hunting basically. This whole package comes with a scope, the arrows. The only thing you're going to need to buy is the broadheads, and you're ready to get out there. And with turkey season coming up here really close, you guys will be able to do that. Another thing that Barnett's continue to do that I really like is they have this finger guard. So if you're holding the stock down here, or the foregrip, either you put your hand through this way or you're holding it like a regular rifle, your fingers aren't going to get up here by the rail. Because if your fingers get by the rail and this string comes across, it will take a lot of skin and maybe even some bone off. I've seen it. I was out shooting at the range, and the guy had his hand close to the riser or close to the rail, and it took all the skin right off the top of his hand. I think I've told you that story a couple times, but it's just one of those visuals that you always think about. So Barnett's thought ahead. They put in this little flange out here to keep your hand out of the way when you're firing it, so you're not going to hit it along the string, which is something really nice. All right, this crossbow is 150 pounds, so it can be drawn by just about everybody. You can put the cocking device on there, and that's a real simple little fix. There's a little clip here in the back. You just pull and it comes down, and you attach the cocking device on there so you can roll it up. It's got an adjustable stock, so you can bring it out to where it's perfect. It only weighs 6.4 pounds, so it's nice and light. You don't have that extra aluminum on there adding any kind of weight. It'd be a great thing to sit and turkey hunt especially, or even deer hunt from the ground. So the IBO speed on this is 330 feet. It's not really a speed demon like the Ghost 410 or the Ghost 400, but it's a nice, affordable, really nice looking crossbow. This reverse limb crossbow, you don't have much kick or anything when you shoot these crossbows, and that's something I really like about Barnett. One great thing too is when you cock this crossbow, like all the other Barnett crossbows, the safety automatically turns on. That's something I really like in a crossbow because it is a loaded weapon. You pull a bat, it's not like a regular bow where you pull and then you have to release it. You set it and you get it cocked and ready, basically loaded, and you have to make sure you push that safety forward. Now it is either a left or a right hand safety, so you can move it forward or back. So it does everything for you when you cock the crossbow, which is nice. So then when you're ready to fire, you just send the safety off and you fire that crossbow bolt. It's a multi-reticle scope that they have on there that has the numerous different lines. It's got 5 circles in there, starting with your biggest, which is going to be your 20 yards, and then 30, 40, 50, 60. You're going to deliver 97 foot-pounds of kinetic energy out of this, so you'll be able to knock everything that you want to go hunting down with no issues whatsoever, and pass-throughs will not be a problem. So yeah, so other than that, I tell you, you know, the little bristles or the brush, I think they call it the FBR, the floating bristle retainer, which retains your arrow along the track here, is something I really like that they've come out with, and it helps, you know, it keeps you from replacing that spring. So if you shoot a crossbow a lot, you're going to have to eventually replace that retainer spring that holds your arrow down against your rail here. And having these brushes in there, you're not going to have to do that, which is something, you know, Barnett's always thinking of new stuff that comes out there, and I'll tell you, they never cease to amaze me with their crossbows. They're really smooth, they shoot really fast, they're quiet, and most of all, they're light, and that's something that, you know, they do. And then I've talked to David numerous times at the ATA show and the SHOT Show, and, you know, we've expressed together the importance of safety. And that's the big thing with a crossbow, is this crossbow is very safe. It puts itself on safety when you cock the crossbow. You cannot dry fire this crossbow. It has an anti-dry fire mechanism in there. So if you have a bolt that's not on there and you push the trigger, it's not going to send it home and break your limbs and warp your cams or whatever the case is. It's just not going to fire unless there's a bolt in there that tells it it's ready to fire. So safety is, you know, one of my biggest concerns, especially with a crossbow. There's a lot of people that don't like crossbows. I think they're fun to shoot. I love shooting a crossbow. It's like shooting a 22. You could shoot them all day long, and if you can find ammo for a 22 nowadays. But you don't have to worry about with the crossbow, is you have a bolt, so you're able to go out there and enjoy yourself. Yeah, so as far as that, everything that this Raptor from the Buck Commanders came out with, it's a really sweet looking crossbow. One more thing I want to talk about is it has a dual string suppressor on the top, and I like that because it really absorbs all the string vibration coming through. And then also your foot stirrup is coated with an anti-vibration rubber, so it's going to absorb a lot of that noise and shock when you're out there. But yeah, really a neat looking crossbow, great camo pattern, and it's almost like a rattlesnake looking. It's pretty sweet. It's like tree bark. So yeah, Barnett Buck Commander Raptor, a great crossbow. You're going to get 330 feet per second IBO, and you guys will be able to send an arrow down there faster than the deer can jump. So for Barnett Crossbows and Outdoor Product Review, I'm Jason Ballas. We'll see you guys on our next review.